I am so ready.
All right, let's do this. Pay us off. How's it going today?
Hello, it's going well. First of all, let's do like the minimum changes in the look and feel, right? So like let's make this look like Stackbit. So to be honest, I've already kind of like embedded the fonts. So I have the font from IDEO already here, but just so you see how that goes, like we have our global styles here, super basic, like the color scheme, text, button style, and just being an extensible site builder. This from like Stackbit with Stackbit you can extend this to like infinite things that you can define in your design system, right? Like this can be your spacers, it can be like special characters, it can be whatever.
Yeah.
Hover effects, like elevation, a bunch of things. So we will start with like just making sure that our text, that our body text is like with this serif font, and so like our buttons and whatnot have this like sans serif font. And then when we go to the buttons, let's turn them into what IDEO looks like. So they have like these really cool straight like editorial style buttons.
Yeah.
Like it's basically black, yellow outline. I'll do something very similar. So I think the difference is we will have our corner radius not exist and make it all caps. And then this is, you see our primary button. I think there's like some more headings. So they're like longer. And then the same with our secondary button. So we'll do this, no corners. I'll give the horizontal padding 18 pixel. Oh, not that much.
Oh yeah, I can see it changing for what you just did, especially. Yeah.
And now I think like something that is very signature for IDEO is that yellow. I don't know exactly what the hue of the yellow is. Let's check it out. One second. Oh, I don't know if you're seeing the inspect in my...
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I can see when you hovered over it for a second there, but no, I can't see the inspect.
It's, if you're curious, it's FDF 322.
FDF 322.
Okay, that's the color. So I'm going to paste it here, and now I have their yellow. Sweet, and you'll see it. So like what we're seeing with IDEO is that this is not how they use their colors, right? Like they're not using... This is not legible at all. So it's more of like a background color to black text. So I'll make sure I'm aligning with these first in a second. But then I want to make sure that this section looks closer to IDEO. Let's replace this. I've uploaded some of the IDEO logos. Great. And then let's add the video. I have a video section here. I can just I extracted that video from IDEO. I'm just going to take this URL, copy it, and then we have a placeholder video here. I'll go here. I'll change the video. Oh, sorry. I'll change the video, the URL. Awesome. Make sure that it's auto-playing, that it's looping, muted, and I don't want to see the controls. Already, like this is looking very close to the IDEO website without many changes. I don't want to see the navigation here. Actually, I'm not going to change this. Like what IDEO has is that they're hiding everything under this hamburger menu at the top.
Yeah.
Which also has like a very unique style that I'm not going to do now, but we can easily replace this icon to be more like hand-sketched icon. But what I have here set up is that like on specific width, the menu becomes like a hamburger, but it's set up right now that it's exposed in longer dimensions, wider dimensions. I'm not going to touch that now. That will be probably a tweak from, what is this here? A tweak that a developer needs to help me with. And speaking of developers, I did send this to our developer, Thomas, before the demo, and I asked him to make some tweaks in our pre-existing components. And I told them to like, hey, do X, Y, Z, and don't spend more than a day on it.
Yeah.
So FYI, a day of a developer is not a long time. And what Thomas was able to do is like really tweak some of the components here to enable them to really look like the IDEO website. So I'm gonna now I'm gonna keep this. We'll talk about this one in a second. Okay. I'm gonna add what IDEO has here as a second component, as a second section, which is this like paragraph. What I did here is I basically took our regular section. Yeah. I removed the image. I made sure. I made sure everything is centered and justified. Took away the buttons and all. And I'll show you what I did because I already pasted the text inside. And what I got, I was able to save that component. And now I have this section. You can see how it turns into this. We will have, I think I need to change the background slightly. No, so this is white. We also have this gray. And then let's add a little feature section. So added, I just pre-saved them because there's no need to show everyone exactly. It's these are the same thing, only with the images, right? So I will take out these that are not part of the IDEO sections. I will replace, I think they don't have clear buttons here. It's more like these secondary buttons. So yeah, I think just for this case, like the way that you would apply these buttons here will be like the buttons are basically a list of actions. So I can add more and I can decide if it's like a primary or secondary. So let's just add another one for the sake of this. So you can see how it looks like. Obviously, it's not exactly like these. I need to tweak slightly what I did before with the spacing and like make it more like gray, but you get the point. And easily from here, I can change it into the style from the primary, secondary, and I can add a bunch of other styles here, right? Like I can add a tab style or make it just a link. I can decide with an icon or without the icon. So
really make it customizable.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's also make sure that the colors here are different.
This is, we've been on the call for, around 10 minutes, and you've essentially cloned already so much of their website. It's amazing.
Right. I did cheat slightly because I saved a few things, but I saved it for the sake of like images and text. You can see that it's really the same, just the same components. But then what I asked Thomas, what I told you a minute ago, was, for example, okay, IDEO has this like also a rotating message here, but it's more of like, this like big visual statement in the middle, where we have like a carousel moving with like different elements that is usually used for logos. But I asked Thomas to duplicate this idea, but only with running text. So he created this infinite scrolling text section. And, it saved my previous text. I'm going to keep it. So bottom, yes, that's a message to live by. Okay, so we're going to add that. Very cool. So just so you know how these things look like when I save them. So I can hit any section after I change the text and style and whatnot, and I can save it. And I'm calling it like the bottomless hummus section. Oh, wow. Remind me never to type in English in front of the camera. Okay, category, I'll put it in IDEO. Save. Now I have that section with the text, with the style, everything saved. I will take this section out. What do you know? We have a form here, and also IDEO had a form here. I'm gonna change this to dark because I think that's what they had here.
Background. Okay, yeah.
We broke apart. Like initially, what we had was that you can choose these styles, and they will automatically replace a lot of the styles of the components. So like you move into a darker background, you will have like immediately all the elements kind of like turning into a light color and vice versa. But what we've learned is that we actually want more freedom. So we broke that apart and allowed to give the titles specifically their own color. So like I could turn this into a yellow, but I'll do it. Wait, what is it here? White.
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 Kind of like you said, you can give it as much flexibility or guidelines as you want.
Right. Exactly. And then here I'll add the bottomless hummus section that I added. So we want to have 2 of them. It's kind of cool.
Although in this case it's exactly the same, you could take that preset you just added and say change the text or customize it.
Oh yeah. So what should I write?
Bottomless hummus. Bottomless. What's my favorite? I really like hummus. Let's do salsa. Bottomless salsa. It sounds kind of weird, but let's do it.
Oh, this is not how you write salsa? No, I was right. I don't know.
SALSA.
I was right. It doesn't matter. It's all uppercase. Great.
Exactly. Perfect.
Great. So I will say that IDEO has a smarter mechanism here. So they're going reverse. And as you see that they have like with the scroll, this like movement, which is really cool. Yeah. So again, like I can ask Thomas to like, obviously each team should have like a dedicated developer at some point to make these tweaks, but this is nothing, right? Like this is very minimal work. Yeah. And then let's do this, right? So here's an example for how we did this, right? So this is our regular featured post section. So the way that this works is this is basically pulling posts from the CMS of the site. So if I add a post, I can do create new or existing. Existing means that this is already stored in my CMS, right? With all the predefined fields, such as like the date, the title, the post itself, the images, thumbnail, author, etc. And I can I can see inside my post like which posts I have, how many times each post is appearing. Irrelevant. What I'm saying is like this thing existed and was built inside of our site already. The only thing that we added was here. You can see you can control like some of the layouts. I can go ahead and like make posts look like this or like this. Let's see how this looks like. Oh, now I need to add posts. Wait, do I? Okay, I'm not going to do that now. But you saw the layouts. I just needed to add 3 posts here. But what I really want to show is that beyond the regular styling options that we already have, we added these 2 toggles here. The first one is IDEO title hover effect and IDEO fancy layout. Okay. So let's start with the IDEO fancy layout. When I hit that, what happens is that the alignment goes kind of like offset, which gives the exact same look as these guys. But you can see there are a few other things here. First is this awesome hover effect, which is now available on preview.
Nice.
Right? So this is an SVG animation. So what that means is that you can now and you can change the shape and you can turn it into anything that you want in your depending on your brand. You can have multiple of these. Like I can say, hey, make it like the scratchy marker effect number 1 or 2, where it's like doing a circle or something. And obviously, if I'm gonna change my colors again, so let's just remember what color this was, but let's change it to this pink. Now this will change accordingly. So super cool.
Very cool.
And then let's bring it back. And then the last thing that we added here was also the 2-layered image.
Yeah.
They have like these 2 images stacked. So again, something that as really not a typical thing to do, right? Like this is just a design element. But you can see that I can go into each post, and the posts themselves now have a thumbnail option. And the thumbnail here, I have like the main image, and I can add another image, and just adding the image block. And then you can see that I can add. I think it's this image. This. Let's go here. I don't have to wait for it to load, obviously.
Yeah.
You get the point. So I'm first adding the component that I wanted to have in the background. So honestly, I can have a video playing in the background. Right? Like I can do whatever. So yeah, you get the point. I think this is just as far as we should be moving forward. I think like we also have predefined a few options here of like, let's see. I think we also have a footer maybe that we saved. No, this is it.
Wow. I love this demo though. It's so cool. When you get into the design elements, it's always gives that, as we mentioned earlier, like that sparkle, like it excites people. And it's crazy how similar it looks in such a quick amount of time. I know it took some developers time, but like you said, it was simply a day. Thank you so much, Asaf. I'll link down below our Discord, some docs and more information for anyone who is more interested in this. And I think we need to do another one of these, Asaf. I like going through the design aspects with you. It's really exciting.
What should be our next website? Our next company?
Yeah, I don't know.
Apple. That's my thinking.
Apple would be really cool. And for anyone watching this, leave requests down below.
Okay, maybe I won't say Apple. I'll just let folks decide.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Asaf.
Bye-bye.